Hey, 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 everyone. How's it going tonight? Y'all, I did better tonight with the time, right? Sometimes I just don't know. Sometimes I'm like, well, 7:30, I mean, it's still broad daylight outside. So I'm sure people are still doing stuff. But then I'm like, if I go too late anyway, here I am. Hey, 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 hey. So, y'all, tonight I have been wanting to do this project. So I finally found, you get something in your head and you're like, okay, I know what I want. I've seen it and I can't explain what it is, right? Well, let me just explain. Let me tell you what we're doing tonight. By the way, my name is Shonda and I am from West Georgia. And I just like hopping on and showing y'all some ideas and some crafts because I love doing it, quite frankly. All right, so tonight, y'all, this is just a pallet board, okay, that I have sanded down. There was, I got it at a thrift store, and it just had, it had some paint on it. It just had some stuff, and so I didn't like any of it, so I sanded it down, okay? So we are going to stain it and then do a little whitewash on this, okay? And then we are going to use the Homestead transfer. Now this transfer I love because you can do a lot with these, okay? So tonight we're going to use the Farmhouse-ish, and then it gives you the meaning. A rustic dwelling minus the actual farm. Is that not super cute? I love that. Okay, so we're going to use that, all right? But here's what also comes in that one. The Blessed, which I've done projects with. Life is Beautiful. And the Homestead, which on the Homestead, I've actually just used the floral on it. So, y'all, I just use bits and pieces of these. So, this one is, again, called Homestead. And we are going to be using tonight our Couture Teal, which is a beautiful color. Everything, if you notice, with Chalk Couture is that color. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Here's my vision. We'll see if it works. My vision is I am going to stain the board, kind of do a whitewash, okay? And then we're going to put this here, probably on this one, do a little bow. But y'all, right here is where it's at. Now, I'm repurposing these two mason jars. This one has like the Golden Harvest, mason. And then this one says ball mason, and then it has the fruit on that side. But I think I'm just going to do the ball mason side up. Here's my plan. I'm going to put these here, okay? Now, this is what I was searching high and low for. Y'all, it's called plastic hanger strap, right? And I knew in my mind what I was looking for, okay? This was it. So it's just this plastic, really hard plastic strapping, right? I'm going to use it to hold it onto my board, right? But we're gonna repurpose it. I don't want it black, so I'm gonna attempt to make it look metalish. Yeah, we're just gonna attempt it. We're gonna see how it works. And y'all, and then I bought these lids at the Dollar Tree, and they are for for flowers. Okay, so I'm gonna go on top of these. And y'all, these little things have been around. I have used these. Hey, Brandy, how are you? Thank you for joining me tonight. So I have used these in so many different parties that I've thrown. This was actually the color of a Paris party that I did. I do sell some of the things I make. I do. So I did these for a Paris party, and I had, I don't know, I put all kinds of things. So I probably have 20 mason jars in there this color. So I was like, okay, I have got to do something with these. So we're going to repurpose them. I'm going to paint them. I want the teal to kind of show through since I'm going to use the Couture Teal. But I'm going to use white over it and kind of do like a peekaboo color of that. So we're going to paint these as well. Y'all, we got a lot of paint to do tonight. That's kind of another reason why I jumped on earlier. So that and that. And then I'm going to also kind of antique these a little bit. It's easy to antique something. Just throw a little black paint on it, a little bit of white paint. You can even do the cinnamon method. I'm not doing the cinnamon method. That's that rust is not really the look I'm going for on this one. But, and then y'all, if y'all seen my Saturday, I went to Sam's Club. And y'all, if you're crafters, I'm just telling you, head to Sam's, okay? So I got this ribbon. I got a bunch of ribbon, y'all. I got a bunch. My husband was like, are you kidding me right now? You really want me to drive 40 minutes to Sam? I'm like, yeah, because the one closer to us didn't have it. So I got a bunch of ribbon. But this one is super cute, right? Welcome. And then this one is another one I got. And then I'm going to be using just some black plaid and just some black, okay? And then some raffia, of course, some raffia. Tie it all together. So let's get started, y'all, because we got a lot to do. If you're just hopping on, hit the heart button. Let me know you're here. I appreciate everyone watching. So, y'all, let me, as I'm doing this, I'm going to tell y'all the story about me going and trying to find this stuff, okay? So I go to our little local hardware store because I didn't really want to drive. Look, I'm not trying to complain because I know that some people, 15 minutes will be like wonderful for them to have to only drive that far. But for me, I have a little local hardware store that's only 5 miles down the road, okay? Versus, you know, that far. So I was like, I don't really want to go all the way, you know, 15 minutes away. So I went to my little local hardware store and y'all, I started describing what I want. Now, I loved it because the local hardware stores, y'all look, I'm sorry, I just get to talking. This is my Waverly Wax in the antique. And I'm going to add just a little bit of water. You're probably not supposed to, but I'm going to because I really just want to kind of stain it, you know, lightly. So anyway, y'all, I go in there and now this is like your little local town. I live in a small town, okay, where everyone knows everyone. Everyone's been raised here from birth. You know, we're transplants here. I'm from the town over. So, y'all, it was so funny because I walk in and it's, you know, a bunch of guys standing around shooting the bull, basically. And I walk in and I'm just walking around because I really didn't want to ask it. You know, it's kind of awkward because all of them are sitting there in a little conversation. And I quite frankly, I don't know why I'm doing the furthest one, but I quite frankly just didn't want to ask. You know, I was like, I'll find it. So I kind of was thinking, okay, I think it's in the plumbing, but I'm not really sure. You know, it was like one of those things where I know I've seen this. And I either thought it was plumbing or air conditioning, you know, that holds your duct up in the, like the attic part, right? So y'all, I'm in there and I'm looking everywhere. Well, what I find is, let me show you what I found. And I was like, okay, those will work. These. You know, so these are like the plumber crap, the pipe clamps, hose clamps, you know those. So I thought, okay, if I can't find what I'm needing or wanting, those will work, okay? So I get up to the counter and a guy, you know, there was a guy in front of me and I'm like, oh, should I ask? Because y'all, I'm that type of person. I just, you know, I just don't want to ask a lot of questions sometimes and look like an idiot, you know. It just, I don't know. I don't like it. Anyway, so I said, hey, I got a quick question. I said, I'm actually looking for this other stuff. And I describe it like this, y'all. It's a metal or plastic in a roll that has little holes in it for nails that holds things up. Y'all, those 4 men that were standing there looked at me and the guy goes, Eddie, can you help her? I said, oh Lord, Eddie, no, Eddie, it's okay. You don't have to help me, Eddie, it'll be fine. He's like, okay, tell me what you're looking for. So I told him, honey, that man said, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me go get it for you. Goes back and grabs it. I said, oh my God, Eddie. Eddie, you are of my heart. Y'all, we were laughing so hard because I was like, y'all, I was just embarrassed to even ask. And they were like, yeah, you looked a little lost. Well, that's because I was lost. What I was looking for. And y'all, this is a small little you know, like a little shop, like little. It's not a big, it's kind of like I don't know where y'all are at. It's kind of like an Ace Hardware, you know, but it's not very big. It's not a Home Depot. It's not a, you know, it's not your Lowe's. It's nothing like that. It's little. Eddie saved the day. I'm just telling you now. Eddie saved the day. I was so stinking excited and happy that Eddie could read my crazy mind, y'all. Hey, Wilma. How are you tonight? I was just telling my crazy story about me, you know, looking like a fool. Oh, well. Y'all look. If you can't laugh at yourself, what else you gonna do, you know? You're gonna cry. And I'm not the one to be trying to cry. I'll just laugh at myself. I was just stinking excited that Eddie was on my page. Found what I needed, y'all. This wood is, you know, it's raw wood since I've sanded it down, so it's taken quite a bit of this. But I would much rather use this, y'all, than the old school stain. It's not my favorite. So, all right. So I'm just getting this on here, and just trying to put a light stain on it. And then I am going to and I'm just taking a paper towel, y'all, because this is the, like I said, the wax, and I'm just kind of rubbing it off. And then in the areas that don't have it. That's all I'm doing. And that's giving me the look I want. Again, I love this stuff. Love it, love it. Okay. Thank y'all so much for sprinkling. Spreading the love. I appreciate it. Might need just a snip more. Just a snip. All right. So y'all, did everyone have a good Monday? Everyone survived it? You know, it's so funny. I always used to hear people talk about, you know, Mondays being so bad, or, you know, and I know it's the concept of, you know, going back to work, or if you have a traditional type Monday through Friday job or whatever, you know, or weekends. But I think because I have always been married to a fireman, that, you know, my days, even when I did work a 9-to-5 job, my days, it still really, the weekends still really just didn't matter, because his schedule was always different than most people's. So, you know, my friends and stuff be like, well, what are y'all gonna do this weekend? I'm like, well, Jim's working. And yeah, so okay, let me get just a little bit. Yeah, I just got in some black. Hold on, I don't want that on there. Let me just get on this edge just a little. Alrighty. Y'all, did I really just do that? I did. I told you I got in the black. Y'all, this is the kind of stuff that I do. Like some craziness. Some real craziness. Alright, let's try to get this off. Alright, we're good. I mean, you know, it's no big deal. Okay, now, I am going to just, I'm going to do a kind of a dry brush with white. And if anybody knows what a dry brush, you know, you literally take a chipping brush, you barely dip it in your paint, and kind of just go across it just to kind of give it some, I don't know, just some definition, y'all. And I like to go side to side, kind of going off the sides. I don't really like to go You know, I like to start and go side to side because I don't want it real thick, just in the middle. I like this look. It kind of, I don't know, just like it. Preference, y'all, preference. And since we're using the sign that says Farmhouse-ish, I think it's fitting. All right, I'm gonna hold it up so y'all can see kind of, you see the difference? So I'm just kind of putting a little wash on it. Let me turn it. Now, I got, you know, arms that are just about the size of a Tyrannosaurus Rex lengthwise. So, you know, I have to turn my board around. Turn it around, y'all. Okay. Got a little heavy there, but that's okay. I like it. I like it a lot. And y'all, if I don't put the brush down, I'll just keep going. Like, I'll just keep on going, keep on keeping on. Okay. So this is what we have on our board. Okay. So started off with nada, zero, nothing. Okay, so I'm gonna put the board to the side and let it dry a little bit while I do the next part, which are these mason jars. Okay, so again, we're going to use white, and I am going to brush these on. Hey Donna, I'm going to brush them on and then let it dry, and then I'm going to kind of just sand it off so that I kind of have the peekaboo of this color through it. So I am just repurposing these mason jars, y'all. And it doesn't matter if some of this peeks through because, again, this is our color of our paste tonight. So I think it's going to look super, super cute. And I'm just using the Waverly chalk paste. Y'all, this Paris party that I did for a little girl, well, one of my very good friends, her little 13-year-old girl, she was 13. It turned out so stinking cute. I did the cake in Paris as well, and I did everything Paris. You know, it had like shoes on it, and I just did all this different designs out of fondant and put it on there, and modeling clay and all kinds of stuff, but it was so cute. It turned out really cute. Now, I'm just going to, I think I'm only going to put one coat on this. We'll see. Because y'all see how fast, I mean, easy, easy, easy. I just don't want it, I really want it to be white and then have that other peek through, not a lot of it showing, actually, just kind of peeking. Donna, if you're still on here, look, I did our Bubba Burger recipes from the mountains, girl. Woo! They turned out amazing. You know, I had to call Joni, though, and get the recipe. There really wasn't a recipe, but it was like a, you know, the procedure. Or whatever, not procedure, but you know what I mean, the semantics of the whole thing. I had to call her. She was like, oh Lord. They turned out good though. And I'm just trying the bottom a little bit so I can flip it and paint the top. And I think it will need 2 coats. So Mondays are usually the day that I take off from my Amazon store. I don't really take off. So my friend and I, we're not really business partners. We have separate businesses, but we share a space. And the cool thing is that we have such a great relationship that we can we help each other, you know, with our work. Oh my gosh, I had put them spongy things down in it, y'all. These things to make sure they fit. Lord, they're everywhere now, and I just wiped paint on me, y'all. It's okay, it'll be all right. All right, let me put this back here. Anyway, Mondays are usually always my days off, you know, kind of days to stay home and do whatever, and then we kind of do the week. Usually Fridays I always work, and Mondays she always works. So anyway, so today I was like, okay, I've got a lot to do downstairs, but I did a lot down here yesterday in my craft room, because y'all, craft room could get messy in 2.5 seconds. Okay, so I was off today, and I was like, okay, I am just gonna chill for a little bit. I went for my walk this morning with my friend, and then I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I really just wanted to sit down for a minute. I always try to do my devotional in the mornings, you know, before I go walk or whatever. So I'd already done that, and I was like, I just want to just kind of just chill for a minute. I don't want to go downstairs, because I'll get down here and I'll be down here for hours, you know, from sun up to sundown. So I was like, I just want to kind of not do that today. So I was like, let me sit down and start the second season of Bridgerton. Y'all, are any of y'all watching that? So I've read the books, and I love the first one. Okay, like the first one, I binge watched. Like, it was one of those things where I didn't want to stop. You know, I was like, man, it's just so good. Y'all, today I sat down and I started watching it. About 20 minutes in it, I was like, I got to go downstairs. So I came down here and I started doing stuff and figuring out and making some stuff, and it's just what I do. Okay, let me dry this. So if you're just hopping on, I am making over a pallet board. And right now I'm just painting. I had these mason jars that I had used that had like a teal paint on them, and I'm just painting them, making them over. I'm going to attach them to my board and use them for greenery. And we've got some other things going on the board. Okay, so I'm going to let that one dry. And grab this one again. I think we're pretty dry. Let me just hit it with the dry a little bit. Yeah, and I'm just going to do 2 coats on these, and that way, and then I'll just kind of sand it off a little bit and do the peekaboo kind of thing with that color. And hopefully it don't take the color off altogether, even the other color, so I'll do it real gently, very gingerly. So then I came down here, y'all, and then that's when I went and had the debacle. Not really a debacle, it was funny. At the little hardware store. Y'all, anybody who knows me knows that's just the day in the life of Shonda. Always something crazy happening. If it's not, then I probably wouldn't be a part of it. Just how I do. All right. Y'all, I'm excited to see this. I've been wanting to do it. I really was just trying to find the palette board that I wanted, you know, and I found it. And just repurpose it. I didn't want to spend a fortune, let's just say that. I didn't want to, you know, go buy a new one. A new palette board. Ugh. Yeah, I'm thrifty. Let me just do the bottom. I watch this girl who does she does tumblers, you know, they do epoxy and do, you know, do tumblers. She cracks me up. She's like, don't forget the butt. She's like, make sure you get the butt done. Okay. So we're getting the butt done right here, y'all. So we do the top, and then that's good for this one. We're good to go. 2 coats is good. And then I'll let it dry. And while that's drying, I am going to do my little, well, I've not been able to do that yet. I'm going to go ahead and do my transfer on my board. Okay. If y'all are hopping on, hit the heart button and let me know where you're from. Listen, know y'all ready. You don't have to. You can let everybody else know where you're from. It's such a going joke now in my house. Are you going to make a video? It's just like a natural thing now. I'm like, yes, I'm going to make a video. They're pretty good not to bother me, which I wouldn't care less if they would anyway. We'll just handle it, whatever it is. Okay. Put this last coat on this one. I'm so glad I kept these jars because y'all, I come real close. I think that fuzzy stuff is still in here. You know the stuff in it? Oh well. Anyway, I came really close to throwing these away when we moved 2 years ago because I had them in my party stuff, you know, that I did all my parties with. And I was like, I'm never going to use those again. Glad I kept them. You know, mason jars aren't cheap. Like, you know, real mason jars like these. You know, like the ball ones. The true mason. They're not cheap. So I have some quart ones. Some pint ones. I don't know what is this one? I don't know. I think this one's a, I don't know what it is. I always call it the middle size one. When I canned in the little small ones. Well, how many ounces? That'll tell me. I can't read it. Doesn't say. Oh well. I don't know. It's the medium size. If anybody knows what size that is, let me know. I think these are like 12 ounce maybe. Now, my husband makes fun of me so bad because I am terrible with like measurements and stuff. And y'all, it's really sad. And I'm very good at math. I'm really good at crazy math, but I'm not trying to read a tape measure. He laughs at me so bad because I'm always like, you know, it's like the 4th hash mark from the center from that. And it's because I don't care. I don't care. It's not something that I need to know. So I don't mess my brain with it, you know? It's just, I don't. He's like, why do you not know that? I don't know. I just don't. I just don't. Okay, y'all. I mean, look. I am getting paint all over me. Just ignore it. Okay. So, let me put these off to the side. And then do my, here we go. And do my transfer. That fell. This is the transfer we're using, y'all. Farmhouse-ish. And I'm using the teal. Hey, honey. I'm using the, y'all, this stuff got everywhere. Those little green things for planting are horrible. They're like glitter. They're of the devil. They're horrible. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in that middle one because I've got my bow going up here. I think that'll work. So I'm going to put that on this one right here. Now I'm going to fuzz it because this one is new. I have not used this one. So let's give it a little fuzz. And I guess I should wax this board since it's not our surface from Chocolate, but I did use the wax on it. You know, the antique wax. But since I put the white over it, I better wax it. So I'm just going to do a little bit of wax. Just a little bit. I'm just going to use our surface wax, y'all. You can see it. Oh, there we go. And my little handy dandy waxing applicator. And I'm just going to wax this middle one. Now, if I didn't put this wax everywhere, I probably would have waxed the whole thing because it does give it a different look. So, I would have waxed the whole thing. But because it has wax on it, I'm not going to. I'm just giving it extra little loving right there. Just a little wax on, wax off, just so that my transfer, yeah, my surface is prepared. Okay, so hold on, I gotta hold this up, y'all, and get this straight. You know, this is the part that drives me crazy. All right. Hey, y'all, I think I might have got it. That first try. What do I think? Kind of hard to tell. I think we're good though. We're going with it. We're going with it. Okay. And again, I am using my Couture Teal. So pretty. Y'all, I'm going to use a smaller squeegee. That one's quite large, quite large. And we just wax it on. Wax it on, y'all. We chalk it on. Squeegee it on, y'all. Through just the part that these silk screens out, where you see the white, where you can see the board through the words. You don't need to put it all over the teal color or the teal areas, because that's just the transfer. And you just put it on Doesn't take a lot. And then just squeegee off the excess. Then when you peel it up, you want to do it slowly so that you can see if you've missed any areas. And if you did, you can fix it. Okay, so let's peel it up slowly. You see what I got? Awesome, y'all. Okay, now these are our backer sheets. Okay, you see the shiny side and the non-shiny side. I am going to just set this back on my shiny side, take it to my sink and wash it. Okay, so you never throw away your backer sheet. Let me sit that back there. Look how pretty, y'all. Isn't that pretty? Against that brown. Y'all, that teal color is beautiful. You can see everything in Chocateur is the teal. The Couture teal. Alright, let's dry this up. And then we are going to work on our, let's see, I'll go ahead and do the lids to the jars. We'll get those antique looking. Y'all, I look a mess. Look at this. Ain't that pretty, honey? I should have put on my apron. Y'all, I wanted to say afghan. I'm gonna put on my afghan. Let's make sure this is good and dry. I do not want this messed up, y'all. It looks so good. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. So, let me set it off to the side again. Let me show y'all one more time. So that's what we got so far. Okay. And you know what my crazy self did? Y'all see the hangers? See the hangers? Thank goodness I can just unscrew them on this end. My, that's the stuff I do. That is the stuff I do. Okay, let's set this down here and let that just dry some more. Okay, now let's work on these. Let's take care of our chalk, our paste. And you just put the excess back in there, y'all. Okay, let's put this up. Okay. Y'all, cleanup is so simple from this. So simple. Alright. I mean, except when you have to go and wash your shirt. That's not so simple. Crazy, crazy. Alright, let me use my little mat again. Y'all, I love these little things. I bought them at the Dollar Tree. You get 5 of them. They're like dog things. I love them. They're so cute. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I am going to take some black paint, okay, and I'm just going to use this no, I'm not, because it has wax in it. Y'all, about just, you did whatever. So I'm going to use a little black, a little gray. Ooh. And then I've still got a little bit of white on this that I'll use. Okay, so all I'm going to do is get this little brush. Where is my other one? There it is. That is not it. That's a crazy little brush right there. What you gonna paint with that? Okay, here we go. Alright, so I'm just gonna take some black first and paint it. Okay. So see, I'm just painting just because it's so stark, that silver. I'm just gonna paint this black. Y'all, I have this new little light over to the side because Y'all, it gets hard to see down here sometimes. I'm in the basement. A little bit hard. Okay, so I'm just giving this like a little, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just covering it kind of the, you know, that stark silver, stark metal. Maybe I'll get some of this black paint on me and it'll cover up the white. What you think? Will that work? I am so messy when I craft. Okay. So, that's all I'm going to do with that. I'm just going to let that sit for a second, and then I'm going to take some gray and kind of go over it, and then just a touch of white. And that kind of just gives the look I like. Other people may have different techniques. Look, and I like seeing everybody's techniques. If y'all have a different technique to do this, let me know. I'll try it. This is just kind of what I've always done. Now again, a lot of people like do the rust look, and that, you know, it has its place too. There's times that I like it, but just for this one, it's not really, I didn't really want the rust color on it. Alright, let's just get that little fence, kind of little chicken wire stuff right there. Alright, let me hit this with this. And I'm just using black apple barrel black acrylic, and then I'm going to use the apple barrel timeless gray acrylic, fast drying, and then I'll use that white chalk paint to kind of also do a little bit. I thought these were cute. I like how it shows that, you know, you can put your, you see how it top for your flowers, and that's what we're going to put in this. Hey Mom, hey Jess. How are y'all doing tonight? Okay, so now I'm going to use, I'm just going to use my brush that I had the black on. Okay, now I'm just barely going to just touch this with the gray, okay? Just barely. Just barely. Again, I just kind of want that stark, you know, I don't want it black, but I don't want it that silver either. That stark metal that it was. I don't think I'm going to use the white actually. I think this worked fine. Do you see how it looks? It's kind of, now you see how the inside was stark, and now we've got, I hope you can see it. It's kind of just, you know, like a, just kind of looks antiqued a little bit. I don't know if you can antique metal without it rusting, but that's what I'm doing. Y'all. Okay. That's all. I like that look. Alright, let me let those dry. Okay. Let me just get a little bit of this off of me so I don't wear it anymore. I'm good. Love watching you. Thanks, Mom. Look at my shirt. I made tonight. I'm talking about messy crafter. I had some fuzz on me and went to get the fuzz off and got paint all over me. Okay. Now, let me see what I'm doing now. Okay. I think I'm done with that. Am I done with that? Yes, I'm done with that. Okay, now let me, here's what I want to do next. I need to, let's see how these finish. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and get my sanding on these because I need to get my surface fitted. I need to fit the surface for these. So That's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. And again, I'm just barely sanding because I really want that green to kind of peekaboo through. That teal. I don't want it all the way down to nothing. This, I don't know about that sanding block. I had something on it. There we go. Now then, that's what I was looking for. You see what I'm going for? Do you see kind of how the peekaboo now? So that was the color of it, you know, that teal. I had painted them, and now I painted them white. So now I'm just going over and kind of, I want some of that to show through. And I gotta be careful because I don't want to go all the way to the jar, you know, and then just have, which honestly you probably wouldn't know because it looks like, I don't know, it's so stark. You probably wouldn't even know that. Anyway, I think this is pretty. I think it looks cool how when you got another color showing through like that. I like the look. I like it a lot. Oh, gotta stop. I'll just keep on going. Okay. Oh, hold on. So this is what we have so far. So just kind of like a little, like I said, that teal is kind of just peekabooing through. And this one, I'm gonna do, I want the ball mason to show up on it. Oh, my arms. Whew. I mean, join me for crafts and workout. Oh my gosh. It's terrible. Y'all, sanding on something. I mean, that's a workout, y'all. And painting. I have found that painting is another. Whew. Painting is definitely another workout. Okay, so that's what we have. All right, so here's our jars. Okay, and y'all, I think I might put some white on this because I don't want that dark. That's so dark. Let's just throw a little white on them. Yeah, I like that better. Just so it's not so stark like that dark black shining through. I don't really want that. So let's just do this. You know, I still want it to look like it's metal, of course, but I just don't want that black on it. Okay, there we go. Now you can kind of see. It kind of probably looks funky on the camera, but I like the way it looks. Much better than just the black. Or the gray, the black, you know. Okay. So that's what I got. How are you tonight, Jana? I am repurposing a pallet board. Okay, so here's what we got right now. So I stained my board. This was a pallet board I had gotten from a thrift store. Had some writing on it, some blue and black and green paints. So I sanded it down and I stained it, and then I whitewashed it over with just some chalk, and then this transfers our homestead transfer, and I did that with Couture teal. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. I am actually, now look y'all, I put it upside down. Okay, I know. So I'm gonna take those off and put them up here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these on the board, okay? So these are gonna go on my board. I've got these holders, y'all, that y'all have to go back and rewatch it and listen to the story of how I found the holders and how came about telling the gentleman at the store what I needed. It was funny. So this is the part that I need to measure. Oh, I knew it was going. I need to measure for my jars, okay? So this is what I'm doing. I'm using this plastic hanger strap. Stuff I look everywhere for, y'all. Looks great. I love the color. I love this teal and this brown is a great combination. So this is what I'm doing. I'm actually just going to strap this on here, okay? And I am going to tack it down on both sides, okay? So that's where I'm needing to just do my measurement, kind of. Make sure I got enough. Okay, I think we're good there. And I am going to paint this and make it look metal. What I did was, man, if there were a snake, that would have bit me. And I'm going to paint this and make it look metal because I don't want that black. Okay, so we just need 2 of those. And y'all could use anything, or y'all could use one of that, like I said before, I had these too, you know, these clamps. You could use those too. Take them apart and kind of use those as well because they're flexible. Just be careful because they will cut you. But this is what I had in my mind all day, y'all. This is like, okay, got to find this stuff because it's plastic. It's easy to work with. This is what I wanted. You need your L nail plump up. No, look what I got. Just in case, I have your stapler. I took your stapler. That's what I did. And I put it in my drawer. So when I put it in my drawer or in my room, it becomes mine. You're welcome. Okay, so I'm just bending this out, okay, so that I get kind of that little bend so that I can staple it down. Okay, and that's what I'm creating. See that? So I'm creating this little, just a little hook around, okay? That's all. And I'm not sure how it's going to stay, but we're going to try to. That might have been too long. Yeah, it was. Okay. It's okay. We'll just do this side. Jill, I'm just telling you now, you know. Don't be crazy. You know, you know. Okay. So I think, let's just make sure. I want to make sure this holds it when I hold it up, y'all. I'm not trying to have it slide out and then break somewhere. I'm trying to go up under the little, you know, the little ridge. And hold it tight. Now, I am going to put some hot glue on the mason jar when I go to do this, just to kind of give me some stability on it, because I do not want it falling out. Hold on, y'all. I'm still here. Just let me see what I got going on. Yeah, I think we're good. So let me, I'm going to paint these first, and then we will put them on our board. And then I've got some lavender that I'm going to be using that I got at Walmart. And yeah. Okay, so let's just use this. I'm just going to lightly do some gray over it because I don't care if the black shows kind of through. Again, this is kind of like your, you know, metal. I want this to kind of look like metal. So nothing crazy, just like that. So it kind of, you know, like I said, it's not so stark black, you know, and has that more metal look. All right, let that dry. Do this one. I like that these are flexible, y'all. y'all know I like to do new stuff, so we're doing this together. I don't know. I didn't even try it beforehand. Y'all, I like to come on and just wing it, you know? And if it messes up, like last night, I had a mess up last night, y'all. And I don't know if y'all seen me live, but I messed up. My transfer dried on me. So this picture right here, that one, that is our April club that I was doing. I was so excited. The one plant dried on me, so it peeled it off. So I literally had to, after my live, I went off and sanded down that bottom part and redid the whole bottom part. So it happens. But it's fixable, and that's what I love. It's fixable, and now it looks amazing. So, and it's not because I did it, it's because it's easy to do. That's just that simple. You know, and I done threw my, we're gonna have to use gems. Ooh, I'm gonna just turn it down. Way down. I don't want to melt the plastic. Just kind of dry this up some. I think what I'll do next is actually make the bow for it, because once I have these on, it'll be kind of harder to make the bow. I'm feeling so much better. I'm so glad, Mom. Okay. All right. My Lonnie knew that I've been sipping on all day long. Okay. Let me go ahead and do my bow while I've got the top free. All right, so I am using this ribbon from Sam's. Y'all, it's so pretty. It has a bicycle on it. And it's kind of got, which to me, I mean, still screams farmhouse-ish. I don't know. It says ish. Farmhouse-ish. So I'm going to do, that'll probably be good. Just a simple, messy bow. I'm not going to get out the bow dabber and nothing crazy. We're just going to do a simple bow tonight. Okay, I think I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do 2 of each. Or maybe 3 of each. We'll see. I'll do 3, and if I don't use them, I don't use them. I'll use them on something else. A lot of people like even numbers. I like odd. Okay, so 3 of those. And then we're going to do 3 of these. Buffalo plaid. Actually, this one will be next. Just some black. This is just black burlap. Okay, and our plaid will be on the top because it's our smaller, so our plaid will be on the top. Y'all, let me put my pen in here because you know what'll happen? I'll be over here and all of a sudden I'll stick myself. Whew. Okay. And then 3 of these. Y'all, the pollen, man, it's got me. I mean, got me. Have y'all noticed that the older you get, the more your allergies bother you? I mean, getting old, y'all, and look, okay, nobody come for me about not getting old or whatever. It's just if you're older or whatever, I get it, okay, I get it. It's like me saying, you know, to a 30-year-old, hey, you're not old, calm down. Well, I'm going to just tell you right now, I got reading glasses on my head. I got grays showing right here, okay? And you would see more wrinkles probably, you know, if I didn't get, you know, some injections every now and again. I'm just saying, getting holds for the birds. And my allergies are kicking in. Never had allergies. It's insane. All right. All right, I'm off my old soapbox now. I was talking to a friend about this, and we were laughing. We were like, look, her husband said the same thing. He's like, it just sucks when we get up in the morning and you're like, wait a minute, is that a new pain I have? What is that hurting? Did I even know I had that and it's hurting? What is that? Y'all, you get aches and pains in areas you didn't even know you existed on your body. It's insane. Okay. And let me grab some of this crazy raffia, because we are going to use some of it. Whew. This stuff right here, y'all, I want to keep it tame, and there is no keeping it tame. Once you pull it out of the bag, oh yeah, this is what you end up with. It's a lot. All right, let's just pull some out. Good grief. Y'all, I mean, woo. Okay. What do I got here? What do I got? What do I got? I got long strands. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually just going to do it like this. Like that. And I'm going to take those and use it to tie up my stuff. Okay? So, I'm put those between my knees. And use every piece you got, you know, on your body when you're crafting. Okay, so I'm just going to lay these out like this. I kind of do an X. That's just kind of how I do it. I'll just do an X. In the black. Turquoise or teal, whatever it is. Hold on, let's see, what did I do wrong? Oh, there we go. That way, that way, that way, and then the buffalo check. I mean, did I only cut 2 pieces of buffalo check, or did I sling it to the floor? I did. The raffia, y'all, the raffia. Got me slinging stuff. Hold on. Okay. Now. That way and that way. So then I'm just going to scrunch it up. Let's try that again. Let's try it one more time. One more time. There we go. Scrunch it up. Put my raffia on it. Goodness, that might be too much, but we'll just go with it. And then I'm going to take this other piece. Y'all. Flip it around and tie it up. Whew. I said this one's just an easy bow. I was just kidding. Just joking. Okay, there we go. And then we'll trim up the raffia. All right. Now let's get all this straightened up. See what we got. Because I feel like we have too much. Y'all, I love how that just goes everywhere. Just everywhere, everywhere. Okay, hold on. Let's try this again. And good? Whew. And y'all, raw fit, you know, you can just start clipping on it. Just clip it and make it whatever. Just do whatever with it, because it's just crazy. Okay, let's get this in here. Okay, here we go. And look, if you guys want to know what the supply list is for tonight, you can type in the word farmhouse, or I have linked the description in the link. I have put a link in the description of everything in my store. So okay, so let me. You know what? I'm not going to do my dovetail until I put it on my board, so that I know what I need. But this is kind of what we're working with, y'all. And I'll have some of them pulled down in that way, but that's kind of what we're working with right now. But I will cut some of the, you know, these down in the front so you can see all the colors. But so far, that's kind of, but right now you can't even see my, I'll get it. I just want to make that before I couldn't. Okay, so now let's get this on. Let's get our little, let's get our jars on, shall we? Y'all, that's our little jar. How cute! I love these little lids. Y'all, I have some other lids in there that are like, what are they? Oh, they're like, oh, just like cuts, like sprinkle, you know, like to use for shaker. That's what those are. Okay. All right, so let's see what we got here, y'all. I do not want this falling off. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some E6000 and some hot glue on this so that I can so it's on there, you know, it's staying on there, and then I'll tack it down so that this is another barrier. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to use some E6000. Because this E6000, you know, y'all, is for the long haul. And then our hot glue is for quickness. Okay, so let me stand up so I can see what I'm doing here, y'all. Okay, so I'm just let that dry for a second. Let's do this one. Let me put my lid on this. I always end up forgetting to put my lid on my E6000. It gets everywhere. Okay. Woo, the glue is so good. Now these jars are a little bit, as far as the size goes, a little bit different, but not. None that I could care less, you know. Okay, I'm gonna sit on my foot because I need to be up some to do this. I may need to stand a little bit. Okay. This one goes with this one. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna let that dry just for a second. Let me get my tacks out. And I think I'm gonna use, I'm gonna use white tacks. I'm gonna use white. Let me just see. I have white and silver. Nah, I'm gonna use the silver, and then I'm gonna dab them with a little black when I'm done. want to move these too much. Alright, I'm going to cut just a little bit of that off. I don't need all that on there. There we go. Okay, let me put a little more glue right here. Just to keep that down. And I may have to go back in. You know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Staple these, because I can always put this over it, these little tacks, but that way it's secured. And that's what I need. I need security. Just like that. Woo! You see that fly? That could have got my eye. Oh, doggies. There we go. Perfect. Alright, let's get this one down tight, y'all, and hopefully I can get this in here because, you know. Well, that one went on the edge, but it'll be okay. I don't really like that, y'all. I don't want it on the edge. Okay, I'm gonna fix it later though, y'all. I'm gonna fix it later. I'm not gonna make y'all watch it. Alright, let's get this one. I'm gonna put some more hot glue down here, y'all. It just gives it some stability while I do this part. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Ugh, gosh. There we go. Woo! I mean, can we hear now? Y'all, did I do that too short? I sure did. I sure did. Dadgummit. It's okay. Good thing is those things cover. I gotta get this out. Hold on. Let me get my pliers. Oh, here we go. I'll just use these. Okay, let's try this again. Let's do this again. I'm gonna do this side, not as much. Okay. There we go. Okay, that'll work. So I'm going to get this one on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over this, these little things so that, because some of this gray has come off, which is fine. I'm going to mess with it. Okay. Now let's just hope and pray that this sticks. This stays. Woo. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to paint those things. Okay, let me do it very easily. Yay! Okay, y'all, this is what we got so far. Okay. So far. So let me real quick paint these because I think it's going to make a big difference. I don't like the way that looks, so let me just paint them. And it doesn't have to be really, you know, great. I just think it'll look better with, again, not so stark black. And I'm just going to kind of go over that silver a little bit. That way that's not so stark. Trying not to get it on my board. Board, but it's okay. It's got the wax on it. It'll come off easy. And it's whitewashed, so looks good anyway. Okay. All right. I was hoping they had this stuff in white, but you know. Look, when you're crafting, you just work with what you got. You do with what you can. That's just what you do. You don't really. Especially when you get an idea in your head like I did. And this is what I wanted to do, so this is what I was going to do. And then you just make it work. Just like that. Let me get just a little bit more on this lid. You know, it's funny when you get it put together, then you're like, okay, wait, let's do this. I kind of don't want that to look like that. Let me hold it up to see what I got. Sorry, y'all. I'm still here. Still here. Still here. Okay. Much better, much better. All right. So let me get my flowers and get my bow on. And let's put our bow on first, y'all. Okay, see, so I was afraid of that. That bow, we're gonna put it up some so that we can see all these things in there. I should have made my back ones a little bigger. I always do that, but it'll be okay. Okay. All right, so let me start cutting these. Whoops. Well, Shonda, that was not smart. There we go. Trying to get these shorter so that you can see all the colors. Let's get this raffia cut down a bit. Probably put too much of it, but I think it's kind of pretty like that. Oh my gosh, I did it wrong again, y'all. Y'all, I do that all the time. All the time. And yes, I'm standing up on one leg. Can't see y'all, I'm shorty. And y'all don't have to dovetail these. I just think it's prettier to do it. I like the look of it. I think to me, it just gives it kind of more of a finished look. But you definitely do not have to do it. And I always like to crinkle mine up. I usually use a ribbon that has wire in it. Make it a little bit shorter. And then let's get our raffia cut up over here too. I definitely used too much raffia. Goodness. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have a mess tonight. Big old mess to clean up, which most crafters do. Y'all, that old thing is kicking in again with this back. Oh, standing up like this is terrible. Terrible, I tell you. Okay. I think we got her. Let's see. See what we got. See what we got. All right. definitely want these to show. We'll put those, tuck those kind of in. Pull these out a little bit. Make this black one a little smaller. Again, y'all, I should have made my back, you know, with that little bicycle kind of bigger, but it's okay. I think it looks good. All right, let's get this mess cleaned up and get the bow put on. Goodness gracious. You know, I got a piece of glass right here. Just, okay, set that there. And y'all, I just started sitting down when I craft, and I'm still trying to get used to it. I don't know. I'm not real sure if I like it. I feel like I don't have control. Okay, sorry. I had to clean it up or y'all would have been like, what in the world is that? All right. So, let's get our bow on. And I'm just going to hang it up here with some hot glue. Ooh, hot glue is... it's hot, y'all. The hot glue is unbelievably hot. Can you believe that? It's hot. You know what? Let me cut that one just a little bit more because it's too big. It's not laying. There we go. Now then, I want this to show. I like that the little tinge, you know, of the bicycle. And that raffia is just everywhere. All right, now here is our greenery. Just gonna try to get it as even as possible. That looks about right. Okay. Let's get these cut, y'all. If I can. There we go. I think my little wire cutters have had their better day. Jim asked me if I took his wire cutters the other day. Well, I'm thinking he might just want these back. Those are awful. Okay. So, let's get these in out. Well, y'all, I did something stupid, but that's okay. We'll just take our little lid off. Put our little stuff in here. I'm going to put a bag in first. We'll stuff our little thing in there. There we go. We're good. We're good. No harm, no foul. Ugh. I'm just using that to give it some height. Oh, that stuff's horrible. All right. Now, oh, that stuff's so bad. Okay. So I'm going to set this down and do this because, again, these aren't real dry and I don't want to... They should hold, though. These things are, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they hold. Y'all love this lavender from Walmart. It's probably my favorite lavender because I love lavender. But, you know, I've seen some like at the Dollar Tree and even Hobby Lobby's. I mean, I love it, but it's for the price, the stuff from Walmart's great. You know what? I need one more little sprig. So I had 2 bunches over here. Oh, y'all. Can you see my farmhouse? Did I put them too far up? Let's shove these down in there further. You know what? We're going to have to... Well, this should work. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. I might go back in and fix my bush a little bit, you know, cut it down some. But y'all, I love it. I think it's so pretty. What y'all think? If y'all love it, throw some hearts out there, even if you just like it or the concept, the idea. I think it looks really pretty. I mean, this bow is wild, but it's definitely farmhouse-ish. But I think what I'll do is just maybe cut these down a little bit so that you can see, you know, more. They're kind of high up, but you can definitely get the gist of it. And that's it, y'all. How pretty is that? Thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate everyone who sprinkled, shared the love with your friends. It helps the page and it helps me. So thank y'all so much. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye, y'all.